a top five vinyl where we show love to vinyl owners. Today I'm here with Lummie. How's it going, Lummie?
What's good? Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. So on the topic of vinyl, which this channel is about, do you remember the first time that you bought a vinyl?
The first time I actually purchased
Mm-hmm.
my own vinyl.
No hand-me-downs.
No hand-me-downs, which I mean, the majority of my collection is like of my father's, my grandfather's, my great uncle. And so yeah, it's a lot, but but also I have my own collection within that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Wow, that's it was a very long time ago. I think, yeah, I, if I remember accurately, the first album I ever bought was Herbie Hancock and the Headhunters album. I think it was that the self-titled album. It's got like Chameleon and Sly on there. Um, like probably one of the baddest bands
Mm-hmm.
like you could ever think of, coming out of the 70s, fusion and funk era.
Mm-hmm.
Herbie Hancock, Paul Jackson on bass, Bill Summers on percussion, Harvey Mason on drums, um, Benny Maupin saxophones. I hope I named them all, but it's such a awesome record. Definitely has been sampled. Definitely is one of the, as far as Herbie Hancock goes, one
Mm-hmm.
of the
Mm-hmm.
more sought after albums that he's. And there's so many Herbie Hancock albums. Going back to the early '60s.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he started playing really early on. Like he was a prodigy, um, and was playing like as a kid with like Chicago Symphony. But like recording, I think he was around the age of like 15 or 16 when he
Oh
started
wow.
recording professionally. I think his first recording was with a jazz trumpet player named Lee Morgan,
Mm-hmm.
and the album is called Cornbread.
Okay.
So if you like Herbie Hancock, definitely you know, go investigate. Go do your homework. But yeah, I think that was yeah,
Okay.
that was the first one.
Okay. Now, of the top five that you're going to show me in a couple of minutes, um, and don't tell me who yet if you have, but have you ever seen any of them live?
Let's see. Let me look. Let me look uh through because I gotta. Um, I've seen my number one live,
Okay.
and I've seen my number five live.
Okay.
Two, three, and four. One passed away before I could meet or hear him. Number three, I've met. This is a band. I've met some of the people in the band.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I've met a few people. Wish I could have met all of them, but
Mm,
you know. And then my number two is no, I haven't met them. Wish I
okay.
did.
Okay. All right. Let's look at your number five. Your number five record that you currently have with you, because I know I saw your collection before we started recording, and you have a lot of vinyl in your collection. So I know this is an impossible task. I already know that. But let's look at the number five that you currently have in front of you. Who's your number five?
All right. And most of these are the ones I bought myself.
Okay.
Like I said, I got a lot of vinyl I inherited, so
Mhm.
there's many things that I have that I know, like I already know off top, are like just within their styles of music, whether it's jazz or blues or whatever. Because most of my vinyl is like blues,
Mhm.
jazz. like early 80s, 70s music.
Okay. Well, before you show me your five, though, before you show me that, so who would you say that you got most of your records from? Inherited from who? Like who's like the majority of your collection from?
Um, the majority, probably my great uncle. My
Okay.
great uncle, he grew up in Harlem.
Okay.
And so like he was around just the culture,
Mm.
just black music culture generally.
Hmm.
And so um, I have a lot from him as well as it's like my I think my both my father and my grandfather, because my father was a party DJ, not like
Mm.
by today's standards, like a DJ Khaled or like Funk Flex, or Kid Capri or something like that,
Mm.
scratching up the record. Not he was like a party DJ in like the '70s and early '80s.
Mm.
Um, you know, just playing the cuts at you know whatever party they were having. So he had like everything. He had like James Brown. He had Michael Jackson. He had Johnny Taylor.
Mm.
He had Chaka Khan, Patti LaBelle. Like, yeah. And then my grandfather, he like myself was a jazz musician,
Okay.
and so a lot of my like collection, as far as like Sarah Vaughan, Count Basie, Ella Fitzgerald, Duke Ellington, Charlie Parker, a lot of that comes from him, as well as my great uncle.
Okay.
My collection is kind of like it kind of spans the gamut from like early stuff like Charlie Parker, Miles Davis, Jackie McLean, Cannonball Adderley, to like Phil Collins,
Mm.
Michael
Okay.
McDonald, uh, 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 who else? Atlantic Star.
Mm.
I'm just naming
Yeah.
ones I know I have off the top of my head.
Very diverse. Hmm.
Yeah, it's very yeah. Because I mean, I'm a '80s baby,
Hmm.
and I grew up in that culture and
Hmm.
that generation. But at the same time, from my studies as a musician, I've acquired a lot of appreciation for you know a lot of different styles of music, especially ones of my own culture, my own black culture.
Hmm. Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah,
I get it. That's cool. That makes sense.
yeah,
It's good to be well rounded. So
yeah.
let's take a look at your number five. Let's take a look at your number five that you currently have for us today.
Okay, number five, probably one of my favorite. All just despite style or what have you. My one of my favorite singers, and you're gonna find a few of these are like live records that I'm about to
Mm.
show you. Like
Okay.
most of my favorite records are live
Okay.
because like studio albums, like you've got to do multiple takes, and you know it's kind of like an energy thing.
Hmm.
Whereas like uh you listen to like if something's done live, all the mistakes are there,
Right.
but the energy is also there.
Right.
You don't get to redo it.
Hmm.
So a lot of it's live. So
Okay.
number five, probably one of the most singers to ever walk the face of the planet. Live album,
Mm. Al
Al
Jarreau.
Jarreau.
Mm.
This was live in Europe. The name of the album is called "Look to the Rainbow."
What year was this?
Um, this was 19. I don't start me to lying.
No, I didn't know if it had
Um,
the year on the back of it.
huh?
I didn't know if it had the year like blatantly on the back of it.
Yeah, it does. You should have told me what you was going to ask before. Oh, 1977.
Okay. Can you open that up for us? Can we see
1977.
the inside, the art in the inside?
Yeah. So there's a back to it. I'll get to that in a
Okay.
second. So it's just a two album.
Mm.
This is from various a lot of musicians like when they go on tour, especially like you know uh back then, like they would have they were wherever they went. Like this is a European tour.
Hmm.
Like wherever they went, they would record the concert, and then once they finished the tour, like so they went to like let's just say hypothetically they went to Germany and to play, or then they went to Paris and they went to London, blah blah blah. You know, they would record every concert,
Hmm.
and then they would take the best material probably from
Mm.
all the tours
That makes
and
sense.
make an album out of it,
Okay. Okay.
or they would record, you know, one concert that they thought was good and you know
Put that out.
put
Okay.
that out. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. So
All right.
my favorite, I guess, joints on here. Uh, we got by. And then you don't see me,
Mm.
which is like, um, you don't see me is kind of like it's a song from this perspective of someone who is homeless and is trying to do the best they can, but I guess just how society treats
Hmm. Hmm.
people,
Hmm.
it brings down the pressure on them and, you know, uh, causes them to do things that, out of survival
Correct. Right.
that, you
It
know,
shouldn't happen.
they don't necessarily want to do.
Hmm.
But,
Hmm.
but if you listen to the words, you get what I mean.
Okay.
But so this is the back too.
All right. Nice. All right. Cool. And
Yeah.
let's take a
Yeah.
let's take a look at your number four. What do you have for number four?
All right. All right. So number four is very special to me because this person is I'm a saxophonist,
Hmm.
and he, along with one other person, um, both of them are deceased now. David Sanborn is who I'm talking about.
Hmm.
This person, along with David Sanborn, is the very reason why I picked up saxophone in the first place.
Hmm.
My mom used to listen to a lot of David Sanborn. I don't have much David Sanborn in my vinyl collection, but this guy I have a lot.
Okay.
And so my father was actually listening to a lot of this guy, and that's Grover Washington Jr.,
Hmm.
Mr. Magic. Everybody
Hmm.
knows Mr. Magic. Um, that's that one of those classic cookout
Hmm.
anthems that you hear pretty much when you go to somebody's barbecue. They probably 40s, 50s, 60s. You definitely going to hear this song.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's just one of them. It's like that or like Maze, Frankie Beverly.
Hmm.
You know,
Staple.
it's a staple
Yeah.
of traditional black cookout music. You
Can
know,
we take a back? Oh yeah, I was about to ask you to back a bit. Okay. Okay.
yeah. This
Okay.
is a single album release, and so my favorite joint on here is Black Frost. Now the thing about this one, there's not a lot of songs on here. There are two songs on
Mm.
each side.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's because like each song is about on average, I would say about 10 minutes long.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
So it's like arrangements with strings and there's a lot of like writing. Like they have violins on here, viola, cello. There's a trombone section, saxophone section, trumpets. Um, Actually, one of my teachers is on this record. His name is John Faddis.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Hmm. That's awesome. Okay.
one of those, what they say, degrees of separation.
Yeah, 6 degrees. Okay.
Yeah. Bob James is on here.
Bob James. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
Hmm.
if you know you, that's one. If you know, you know.
Yeah. I know. I know. I'm
You
familiar.
know.
Hmm.
Um, who else is on here? Like I said earlier, or Herbie Hancock and the Headhunters, Harvey Mason. Harvey
Hmm.
Mason's on here too.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hmm.
But this definitely just one of them smooth. This is like I call it an any occasion
Hmm.
record
Hmm.
because it like you come home from work, you put this on,
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
you some. yak or whatever, whatever your
Right.
drinking preference is. Sit back and just decompress from the day. Like I said, cook out whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If you doing yard work, if you doing like I was out doing yard work before, doing
Mm-hmm.
woodwork, and this is one of them things I could just listen to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah.
All
So
right. Cool.
Grover Washington,
All right.
Mr. Magic,
All right. So this is your number
Grover
four.
Washington Jr.
Let's go
Huh?
ahead and take a look at your number three.
Number three. All right. Number three, probably. Well, I would say my all-time. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my all-time favorite um jazz group. It's just like my introduction to like when I was a teenager. Like that was the time where I really gripped on to playing a lot of jazz and just getting more serious about music.
Mm-hmm.
And so this particular group, the name of the group is called the Quintet.
Mm.
Let me take it out of the plastic. It's
Keeping it
called
fresh.
the Quintet. Yep.
Okay.
Name of the album VSOP.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
VSOP. I believe that's the name of the group as well. So that's Herbie Hancock, Freddie Hubbard on trumpet, Herbie Hancock on piano, Tony Williams on drums, Ron Carter on bass, and Wayne Shorter on tenor saxophone.
Mm.
Right. A lot of these guys, all of them are important to me because they got, especially like Wayne Shorter and Herbie Hancock, they really have a lot of influence on me as a writer, as
Mm-hmm.
a writer of music. And so this album has, whew, it's just like a lot of energy,
Mm.
a lot of just like my boy says, it's got that grease. Just gritty like that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Just got that scrap to it, you know?
Okay.
You
Anything on
know,
the backside
this
of
is the
this?
back.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this is the back.
Okay.
Yeah. So Tony Williams, Wayne Shorter, Freddie Hubbard, Herbie Hancock, Ron Carter.
Mm.
Um, so the whole album is killing, but I guess if I have to pick one, it's the first track on the album, which is called One of a Kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's just hard driving jazz.
Okay. Do you own
Hard
this?
driving
Do
jazz.
you own this album on any other format, like CD or?
I had a CD. There's another one. They have a second album that they did. They have a few, but the second one was called Live Under the Sky,
Mm-hmm.
which is, and then they have another song called One of Another Kind, not to be confused with One of a Kind here. Um, I'm sorry, you were asking
No, I just asked you, do you own it on any other format?
this particular one?
Mm-hmm.
I had it on CD, but don't ask me where it is.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and that was back in early 2000s.
Okay.
So like many of things get lost over time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but the Quintet VSOP, check it out.
Okay. So this is your number three. All right.
That's my number three.
All right. Let's move on to number two. Who do we have for your number two?
Oh, I don't think you're ready for number two. Number two is just like, oh, shit. Can I curse?
Uh,
It's too late now,
yes.
right? I'm just trying to be genuine.
No, we're
Like,
cool. We're good. We're good.
man, this album right here, I'm gonna take it out the plastic. Uh, this album, man, it's just gonna it hits you in your soul, man.
Mm.
Like, it is it is my all time it is my all time favorite blues album.
Mm.
All time favorite blues album, man. And I could listen to it from beginning to end. There is no track that I like the least
Mm,
or the most. Is
okay.
just straight up.
It's a complete body of work.
It's just st- you know how I turn to say just put that stank on it.
Yeah.
It's just like soon as first note from the first note they played, I'm just like
Got
mm.
the face on. Okay.
You can listen to it no matter what your mood. Like
Mm.
you get in an argument with your wife, you had a bad day at work, you just like fuck it.
Hmm.
BB King
Mm.
and Bobby Blue Bland.
Okay. Mm.
You don't know, man.
What year was this? Does it say in the back?
Yeah, 1974.
Okay.
1974.
Mm. Back artwork?
Yeah.
What's on the back of this?
No, it's just
Okay. Track list. Okay.
yeah, track list who produced what, you know.
So
Um,
no favorites because everything is just it just hits you.
it's just it's the blues, man.
Hmm.
And these two cats, man. Whew.
Now you said you've seen BB King live?
No, 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 no. Oh, so to back up, all right. So I've seen Al Jarreau,
Okay.
and I've seen most of the guys from VSOP. I've seen Tony Williams. I've seen Ron Carter. I've seen Wayne Shorter. I haven't seen Herbie or um Freddie Hubbard.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then yeah, I haven't. I wish I could have met seen both of these cats.
Hmm.
These cats. Oh my man,
Hmm.
man. I got another. I'm gonna tell you what. I got another. I'm gonna mail this to you. I got another copy.
Mm.
And you got. Yeah,
Hmm.
go listen to it.
Okay. This is number two with the stamp of approval.
Yeah,
Let's take a look at the finale. Let's look at this number one
yeah.
you got.
All right. So number one, like I said before, my number one, my number one is actually two albums. I cannot break them up. I refuse to break them up.
Okay.
You don't like it. Anybody doesn't like it, you can fight me. Um, these two albums, like, they have a connection, not just because it's the person is probably the greatest singers of all time, and these two
Hmm.
albums are probably the best representation of her work.
Hmm.
Um, but it's also a special connection that I have with my father, who I lost almost 2 years ago.
Hmm.
And so this would always be playing in the car, you know, coming home from school,
Hmm.
when he would pick us up from school or from wherever we were. And like to this day, that was the 80s, mid 80s, early 80s, whatever. Uh, and to this day, it still sounds like, the freshest, the best music you could possibly want to listen to.
Okay.
So my number one,
Let's see it. Okay.
Anita Baker,
Okay.
giving you the best that I got, and
Hmm.
Rapture. You can't. Who, who's going to argue with me? Who's going to argue? I
Right.
want to meet the person
Wow.
who is going to argue. You can't separate these two. You can't.
Yeah. I can see that. Anything on the back of these things?
Hmm?
Any artwork on the back of these vinyls?
Yeah. Well, this one is that.
Okay.
I mean, if I got a favorite one, that's the one over the other. I can't. But
Hmm.
like, if I got to, like, Rapture would have the edge because they got Rapture on there. They got Sweet Love on there. Um, has it been so long? Mystery. Those four songs just right there. You Bring Me Joy. Them five songs, like all the five songs, like was all number one, and that's
Yeah.
one album,
Mm-hmm.
one fucking album.
Mm-hmm.
You got five number one songs,
Mm-hmm.
and then on this other one, Giving You the Best That I Got, Good Love, Good. What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got
This
you got
song been sampled.
yeah.
Mary J. Blige did something. What's that song? Stressed Out.
Mm-hmm.
Just because.
Yeah, that's a solid.
Yeah, I can't break this up, sir.
Yeah, I wouldn't force you to. That's a solid top five you got there, sir.
Solid top. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
got another.
so
Trust me, I'm gonna come next time. I'm gonna come with another
a-
set.
yeah, after you can lock down another five, we'll do this again.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, man.
in the midst of this particular conversation, I appreciate you for your time. Thank you for sharing your vinyl with me, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, thank you for having me. Thank you
Oh
for
yeah,
having me.
no problem at all.